This Thursday, April 1st, 2021, the prosecution continued to present to the court evidence related to the crimes of financing terrorism, which had been adjourned at the hearing of Thursday. The prosecution further presented to the court the telephone text conversation between Paul Rusesabagina and Brigadier General Antoine Hakizimana, alias Jeva, the commander of MRCD-FLN militia in the northeastern province of the Democratic Republic of Congo, pointing out that the militants had been cut off from food supply after the attacks by the Congolese National Forces, which had removed them from their base. Jeva also gave Rusesabagina a report on how the fighting was going, and Paul Rusesabagina replied that they were not sitting idle while looking for all the support needed. In other chats extracted from MRCD WhatsApp group, its treasurer Eric Munyemana told party members, including Paul Rusesabagina, that there was nothing left in their coffers and that in 2019 they had spent more than 150,000 euros on purchasing weapons to MRCD-FLN fighters and to help them get other logistical upkeep while on the battlefield. The telephone conversation were extracted from Paul Rusesabagina's phone seized during a search at his house in Brussels, Belgium, where police seized various documents, a telephone and a computer. On the charge of murder as an act of terrorism, the prosecution presented evidence from MRCD-FLN attacks in Nyabimata in Nyaruguru district and in Chitabi and Nyungwe in Nyamagabe district, where 9 people were killed. The evidence on these murders include a testimony from eyewitnesses and one victim who was shot and later died, who told investigators that vehicles and motorbikes were set on fire at the scene before gunmen opened fire at people in the area. On the charge of abduction as an act of terrorism, the prosecution alleges that MRCD-FLN fighters had been kidnapping people from their homes or even vehicles and taking them to Nyungwe forest. On the charge of armed robbery as an act of terrorism, witnesses testified that MRCD-FLN fighters robbed them of their crops, livestock, telephone, and even ordered them to carry the stolen goods. The prosecution told the court that Paul Rusesabagina was guilty of these crimes, although he was not present at the scene, as he was the chairperson of the MRCD-FLN armed group and its main sponsor. After all, he claimed in a video interview the deadly attacks on Rwandan territory right after they had happened. The trial is set to resume on April 21st and 22nd, with the prosecution presenting evidence of the remaining 3 charges against Paul Rusesabagina, who has not returned to court from the time he announced that he will not appear in court again. Reporting for RwandaTV News, Ethan Tashabia.